There is some bad news for you. There was a refutation to our liquid debate by a well-known Arabic speaker on YouTube. He goes by the name of Christian Prince. Okay, so the research that I've done is that the majority of Muslim scholars, the translation into Arabic was the ribs of a woman, not the pelvic arch.
I addressed this topic in 2008 or something like this. I mean, about a decade ago. Yeah. And all I did was re-represent the information from that time now. And I would love to see anyone refute that, because who would I respond to? I was responding to at the time Dr. Nabil Qureshi.
I just want to say a special hello to the doctor, because I really do like you, and I think you're a very genuine person, doctor. I really do. Although there is some bad news for you. There was a refutation to our liquid debate by a well-known Arabic speaker on YouTube.
Yeah,
you may have heard of him.
Arabic. Yeah, he's not an Arabic scholar. He is a non-entity. Thank you.
No, okay, he's an Arabic speaker. He goes by the name of Christian Prince. The refutation is on his channel and my channel. He did a refutation of that debate. We can go over that briefly, or I wanted actually to move on to a different topic.
Sure. Before I want you to raise your topic, because you do this thing all the time where you come on, you be a little bit nice, then you have the dig, and then you raise something else, and then you go on to your actual topic. So I just want to address this a little while. I addressed this topic in 2008 or something like this. I mean, about a decade ago. Yeah. And all I did was re-represent the information from that time now. And I would love to see anyone refute that, because who would I respond to? I was responding to at the time Dr. Nabil Qureshi. And he emailed me personally, and I can, now he's passed away, I can bring the email up. And the email that he said to me was, "This is a very excellent response. I'll have to research this and come back to you, look further into it and come back to you." And obviously he didn't do that, and now obviously he's not able to do that because he's no longer with us. And I've not had any response at all. So if someone,
do you want a response? Should we discuss it? Shall we discuss it? Or do you want to move on to different topics?
If you can choose one thing you want to discuss, and then we can discuss the one thing you want to discuss. So either you can discuss something you think has been responded to. It's up to you. I think that's a moot point. Or we can discuss something that you've brought that you really would like to discuss. What would you like to do?
Okay, well, look, the channel, the video is on my channel and Christian Prince's channel, so your viewers can go and watch that if they so decide.
They can just watch what we say, and we can have you defend the position here. So you make the argument that you learned and from the videos that are on your channel. Just to point out here that there's a problem with your logic. Just because he speaks Arabic does not make him a scholar of Islam, in the same way that me knowing Greek does not make me a scholar of Christianity. If that is the case, and if that's your standard, but I'm really sorry, Rob, but the Bible is technically irrelevant based on my study. In any case, Dr. Imran, would you like to engage with Rob on his point that he can't actually articulate for himself?
So is that what you wanted to do, Rob?
Like I say, I'd rather move on to a different point, as those two videos are out
you
there on
raised
YouTube. So
you raised it, and I'm sure you watched the videos. So discuss it with Dr. Imran. What do you have to lose?
Okay, all right, no problem. So what this Arabic speaker has actually said is that Dr. Imran referred to a recent convert, or if you want to call him revert, from Germany, who was actually around not so long ago, and the actual word that he used was the pelvic arch, where in fact the Islamic scholars, going back to the time of the Quran, actually used the top rib bone, which would be in that area. So if it was the pelvic arch, the doctor would be right. But because most of the Islamic scholars have actually mentioned the rib at the top rib bone of a woman, then that particular liquid is impossible. It is impossible. I've looked into it. I've researched it. It's impossible. The Quran is wrong. The Quran has got it wrong.
Is that your because you've switched there talking about what this Arabic speaker was telling you to you've researched and you've found out. So are you presenting your research here, Rob? Or are you presenting somebody else's say-so on their video, which because they're an Arabic speaker, you rate them highly? What's the position here?
Okay, so the position is that the majority of Islamic scholars have agreed.
No, Rob, you're misunderstanding what I'm asking you. What I'm asking you is that when you started off with your presentation, you said that an Arabic speaker has said this. Yeah, this is what you said. And then you made the argument from the Arabic speaker. Then you switched at the end to say, I have researched and the Quran is wrong. Now you changed from presenting that person's claim to making it your own claim. So what I want to understand is, are you presenting something that this person, Christian Princess, has done or said, and just because he's an Arabic speaker, which you don't have access to that information, i.e. correcting him, checking him, verifying what he's saying, you're just accepting what he's saying? Or is there some research that you've done, which you claimed at the end that I have researched and I know the Quran is wrong? This is what you're claiming. So now, which one is it? Is it his research that you're presenting here? Or is it research that you've done that verifies that?
Okay, so the research that I've done is that the majority of Muslim scholars, the translation into Arabic was the ribs of a woman, not the pelvic arch, which this recent convert, blonde hair, blue-eyed, recent convert, I mean, he's gone against all the Islamic scholars, the major ones. So who do we believe, Dr. Imran? Who do we believe?
Okay, so I want to understand, because there's lots of flaws within the argument being presented here. And I want to, because you're making it's almost like a reverse anachronistic argument. So what you're saying is some blonde guy did it and he's recent and therefore he's going against the languages known by the previous scholars. This is the basic claim,
correct,
right?
Yeah, correct, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So there's a problem here. There's a big problem here. So the first problem here is that he doesn't make the language up. He doesn't make the meanings up. He researches the language, and who does he refer to? And you're talking about Muhammad Assad, of course, who in this translation reversed.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct. Yeah.
So the Muhammad Assad, who does he refer to when he is making this claim that this word tara'ib is specifically peculiar to women, and it's an unusual word? Who does he refer to? I'm just going to get the translation up because I'll show it on the screen, so then you can know who he's referred to.
I can't remember off cuff who he's actually referring to, but he's in the minority.
Rob,
Dr. Imran, he's in the minority.
Rob,
when you compare him to Islamic scholars.
Rob, there's an issue here because we're talking about language. We're not talking about theology. We're talking about how you translate a word. Yeah. Now, he's not come along and said, I know the Arabic language better than everyone else before. He's researched the word and he's given what we would say the etymology and the origins of this word and its meanings. Now, what you've done, you've said you've done the research. This is why I asked you specifically. If you're presenting Christian Princess's research, that's fine. We can say, Rob doesn't know any better. We can go over this, but you're saying that you've done the research, and according to your research, he's going against the majority of scholars. Now, the question I'm asking you is, what's the research? Who is being referred to by Muhammad Assad in his translation? Who does he refer to for his etymology?
Okay, so the problem we have is that it's an Arabic word. So it all comes down to the translation. But what Christian Prince has done is to translate that particular word and to prove that it is part of the ribs and not part of the pelvic arch, for which I think it's Muhammad Assad has actually said it's part of the pelvic arch, Well, that's the minority view. The majority view from Islamic scholars is it's part of the ribs of a woman. Now, I've done the research into any liquid that could possibly come from a woman, and it's below the ribs. It's actually below the ribs. So that would be my refutation there.
So you haven't made a refutation. What you're saying here is that you're saying that Christian Prince has somehow researched, and he's proven. This is the word you used. So please tell me what the proof is.
Well, as an Arabic speaker, he's translated the word on his latest video, and so there's only two possibilities. As an Arabic speaker, he's either deceiving us, or we can translate that word and say yes, he's correct in what he's saying.
Okay, Rob. But we could apply it to any Arabic speaker, right?
But when I looked into
Rob, listen to the thing. You're making very general statements, and you're claiming that they're specific. So the argument is that he's an Arabic speaker, so either he's lying to us or he's telling us the truth. This is the argument you're making, right?
From the Arab translation of that word, yes.
So the argument is Christian Princess is an Arabic speaker, and he's translated it. So either he's translated it right, or he's telling a lie. That's what you've said, right?
Well, look, guys, let's not be disrespectful. I mean, he calls himself Christian Prince, and yeah.
Well, I don't know who this person is. I don't know if he's male or female. There could be a voice, adjustment on his speech. Anything could be the case. The question, question still applies. The question still applies. What is his authority apart from being someone who speaks Arabic? Is there any other reason for his authority that you're giving? You're saying he's an Arabic speaker, therefore you take his word. That's what you're saying, right? Okay,
so what it comes down to is...
No, you're not answering the question at all.
No, I'm trying to answer the question, Doctor. If it is pelvic arch...
You're not answering the question.
You are correct. You are correct. If it's ribs,
Rob,
then the Quran is wrong. The Quran is wrong. That's how important it is. That's how important this is.
Rob, I'm going to pause you. Please let the doctor finish his statement. Thank you, Dr. Imran.
Thank you. Rob, you're avoiding the question I asked you. Assalamu alaikum, Nazim, by the way. Lovely to have you here. The question I'm asking you is, what is your criteria for accepting what Christian Princess has said? Is it just because he's an Arabic speaker, or is there something else to him that gives you authority for what he says? Because like you said, he's an Arabic speaker. Either he's telling the truth or he's lying. And I've said to you that can apply to any Arabic speaker. And that would apply also to Muhammad Assad as well. Because he's an Arabic speaker. Either he's telling the truth or he's lying. Now, how then would we judge between them is the question that comes. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take your argument and analyze it. And you're afraid of the analysis, if I'm honest with you. Because what we're going to do is we're going to refer to where Muhammad Assad has come with the translation, and we can go through that. And I posted this before, and I'm going to post it, and we'll go through it again, and we can have a look at what was written there.
So are you going to defend the point, Rob, or are you going to deflect?
Okay, so what I would say is, from this point, we can either say that the Quran is true or false. That's how important this point is.
Can you answer the question, Rob?
Yeah, you're not answering the question.
It's about your appeal to authority about an Arabic speaker. Can you please address the appeal to authority, Rob?
No liquid would come out of a woman's chest, rib area. It's false. It's false.
Rob, you're not answering the question. We're going to ask you one more time. Please answer the question about the fallacy of appeal to authority to CP because he simply speaks Arabic. Can you address that question, please?
So we have Muhammad Assad's minority opinion versus some real heavyweight tafsirs.
Rob,
I would believe
Rob,
guys that lived around the time of Muhammad.
So here's the thing, guys. I've removed Rob. The reason is we asked him a specific question, and he answers anything but the question, and I find that to be extremely disrespectful.
So there were 2 points being made. One is that the reference to the majority of translators, and then there was a reference to because Christian Princess has said something that it must be true because he's an Arabic speaker. Now that's an appeal to authority. And what the other thing that was done was a very clever tactic. This blonde-haired, blue-eyed, very recent Muslim has done this translation, which is different from the others. And this is to cast an aspersion on the research that Mohammed Assad has done in his own translation that he did. Now, I addressed this in my two-part video, and I'm going to put the link up for that here. This is the second part of it, because this is really the relevant point here. So this has come up. It will come up in the chat. So let me just try and share my screen. And we're looking at this word here, tara'ib, and this gives the meanings as part of the breast, which is in the place of the collar or the necklace, the bones of the breast, so breastbones is the common translations that we see, and it goes on to talk about the 4 ribs on the right side and the 4 ribs on the left thereof. So actually it talks about the formation, actually the ribs that arch up almost to form the link with the breastbone. So Dr. Lane quotes authority here whose initials are here MF, says that tara'ib relates to males and females in common. So this is actually saying that it relates to males and females in common. This is one authority quoted. Dr. Lane then goes on to say, and this is very, very important, but most of the authors on strange words affirm decidedly that it is peculiar to women. So I just want to highlight that point. So this is Lane's Lexicon, and this was, I think, written in the 1800s. And what he's saying here is clarifying that the majority of authors on strange words, so the authorities on strange words, and tara'ib is an unusual word within the Arabic, even in the Quran, says that this is specifically for women. So now you have an issue here. Ribs are common for men and women; they're not distinct. And the pelvis between men and women is actually different in terms of its shape and structure and function. So there's and this is really important to understand. So most of the authorities on rear words, they say that this is specific to women. Now, and then I point out another thing here. So now I'm just going to go to the next section. This is when I was very young. You can see what I'm going to look at now is how Mohammed Assad explains the word at-tara'ib as the pelvic arch of the woman. So my point here was now I'm going to look at how does Mohammed Assad arrive at this pelvic arch of the woman translation. So if I were to go to, so for example, islamcity.com and look at Quran search and then find Surah 86 and the Mohammed Assad translation, and if you look at the verse that we're dealing with specifically here, which is verse 7, and this is the Mohammed Assad translation, and it's translated as issuing from the loins of the man a sulb, which we've confirmed actually with Hans Weir's dictionary and Dr. Lane's lexicon, and the pelvic arch of the woman. There's actually a translator's note written by Mohammed Assad, so let's have a read of what that actually says. It says the plural noun tara'ib, rendered by me as pelvic arch, has also the meaning of ribs or arch of bones according to most of the authorities who have specialized in the etymology of rare Quranic expressions. This term relates specifically to the female anatomy, and then he quotes Taj al-Urus. So here now, this is the point here. This is what Mohammed Assad has done. He's looked at the etymology of the word, and it is a rare Quranic expression. And he's looked at the authorities who specialize in the meaning of these words, and he's clarified that this is specifically for the female anatomy. And he's referring to Taj al-Urus, which is a well-renowned reference for meaning of Arabic words. So he's not making this up from himself. Now, if translators are giving a common meaning and there is another meaning which is more appropriate to maybe say a modern or new knowledge, then this doesn't invalidate that at all. And this is the point here that's being made. So the pitching two people, say if you take someone from the 7th, maybe 8th century making a translation about what they understand how the world is, to someone in the 21st century saying, oh, I see this can now apply to something that we understand, and then using that word. Now the Quran hasn't changed. It's still saying as-sulbi wa tara'ib, bayna as-sulbi wa tara'ib. It's still saying that. But now the understanding, because we have improved in our understanding, we can now look at this with fresh eyes and say, yes, this is the meaning. And what supports this is this word is specifically for females. And this is really just, that point is iterated over and over again. Lane's Lexicon, Taj al-Urus all say this. Now, what someone like Christian Princess or then Rob has to do is they have to go back to these original sources and show why they were wrong. So you have to go back to Lane's Lexicon and show why that is wrong to say this is specifically for women. You have to go back to Taj al-Urus and say why this is wrong to say this is specifically for women. Now, that's an argument I don't think I'd like to see you have, and it falls down. So I'm not surprised that this is the approach that's being taken, but it's not really about trying to find the truth. It's really just about trying to make it seem like an answer is given when an answer actually hasn't been given.